new week. What's going on, buddy?
New week. It's a new week. And like I just said, I don't know what I did all week.
Even though we're at the end of the week, it's a new week for us.
It's the beginning of the busiest week. And I'm super excited and happy for you guys.
What are you talking about?
Because it's graduation week.
It is graduation week, which there's excitement and angst. So
there's a lot of work to do too.
There's a lot of work to do. Yeah. Welcome to the Contagion
Effect.
Oh,
yeah. Hey, by the way, welcome to the Contagion Effect show.
There you go. Where we talk to our veterans, learn some great stories. Another one coming your direction.
Another one.
Absolutely.
That should have been an intro song.
What? Another one?
Another one.
Welcome, Brian Roof. Welcome to the show.
Your ears are ringing, bro.
Yep. Your ears must have been
ringing.
Might have been talking about you. You never know.
You fella. You fine fella. You fine fella.
So
keeping it roofy.
Before we get to our guest today, Eric, I know you just said I don't even know what I did this week. What'd you do this week? How was your week?
It was a good week. It's continuing because lucky me, I get to deliver some groceries on my Saturday, which is Friday, the worst week to be in the grocery business because it's Friday
and it's Memorial.
But that's not a bad thing because it's Memorial weekend.
No.
The bad thing is everybody doesn't understand what it's really about.
No, I had that conversation 2 days ago because I was actually talking to a business and they're like, oh yeah, we got a 3-day weekend. We're going to barbecue for Memorial Day. I'm like, you realize I was kind of a jerk and I'm like, you realize it's not really a fun, great weekend. Oh,
Mama AnJEllak. What is
Mom?
Up?
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Mama.
And I kind of held them accountable to it's not a party weekend. Like I get we look at that now, but it's actually a pretty serious weekend. We need to remember those who sacrificed for us, right?
Yeah. And I don't want to call this radio station out that's out of the Bay Area that does Weather and Together on the 8th.
But you're going to
all news.
Don't say the station.
I'm just going to say
leave it alone.
If you know,
we don't need any problems.
If you know all news weather on the 8th, traffic and weather together on the 8th, they had a 4-minute spiel of this weekend, and not one time did they call it Memorial Day weekend.
Are you kidding?
Not one time.
They're talking about barbecuing.
They were talking about what's going on this weekend and and
didn't bring up the sacrifice
literally
of our
didn't say,
men and women that
did not say Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend. It's not about the barbecue.
I wasn't really shocked and appalled, but I was appalled.
Well,
I tried calling them, but they didn't answer.
Of course, you probably get blocked away like you do on all the other stuff.
Good Day Sacramento too. I called you out right now, bro.
Please don't.
God, I hope I get an email from them soon. I've sent them like 27.
Maybe now they'll reply.
Maybe their lawyer will send us something.
Yeah, please do that. Send it to River Point.
Yeah, why they exactly?
Yeah, the River Point. Why they
13301.
The whole reason why they get to barbecue, right, is or all the things that are going on around our country and why they have the right to do that and the people that made that possible for them. But hey, we won't mention it. You know, it's not important to Memorial Day or anything.
I had sent you a message on my drive home. I found a gentleman. Who we're trying to get on the show.
Don't even start.
We'll just leave it at that. But he is a funny ass dude. And he literally had a spiel on that of, hey, don't thank me this weekend. I'm not dead. Thank me in November.
Yes, Tonto, the sales are.
It's just like Valentine's Day.
But it's not a day that should be exploited. That's the problem. And that's
go to a cemetery and place some flowers.
Right. Okay. So you worked. I didn't have to work all this week, which is nice.
Job.
I will tell you that yesterday I was off, even though I had to work hard to do the graduation stuff. Yeah. I was like, yes, I don't have to work at the 9 to 5. Like I was like, I miss these days where I can do other stuff and not have to worry about that.
Well, hopefully you can get to that point again.
Well, I wish it'd be sooner than later. Trust me.
Hey, do we need to hear from anybody?
We can get a little Gary Miller going.
Let's hear from Mike AnJEllak. Explain what Gary Miller Mobile Tax Service is all about.
Do you dread having to do your taxes? Does the mere thought of it make your head spin? Miller's Mobile Tax Service is here for you. We will handle your individual or business taxes. We will come to you to prepare your taxes. We are skilled, professional, and ready to get started for you. Call 209-678-8515.
You know what? I so appreciate Gary because we were on the call with our networking group the other day, BNI, and he mentions us almost every week.
That's awesome.
On even BNI, and he tells everybody you need to go watch these guys and learn more about what some of our veterans have done for our country, and then what they're doing now and continue to serve. So I was like, Gary, I so appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, he's a dope ass dude.
He is.
And
he is.
I still don't know why he hasn't. He needs to grab one of those dates from the Calendly.
He's
app.
still, I will tell you, he's still pretty freaking
Taxes
busy.
are like a year-round thing now, huh?
Well, being that California, most of California, due to all the flooding and everything, got an extension till October 15th. But then what happens is in October, all the business taxes start. So if people push their stuff off, then he's literally going to work year round.
Don't be pushing your stuff off.
Yeah. Get your shit done.
Yeah.
Just get it done.
We do have one date in July available, July 27th, 6 p.m. if anyone would like to join us. I really want that one filled before we get out.
Calendly.com
Calendly.com
/
Hey,
Contagion
text
Effect
me,
Show.
I'll send you an email. See that when I did it again.
Yeah. Just message us. You can even message us here. It's all right.
Yeah.
All right. You want to get some Scotty going?
Let's
so
get some
we can
Scotty
started?
Hastings. We got a good show coming up.
Yes.
And you get to it.
Yes, we
Stop
do.
messing around here.
I'm sorry. I won't mess around anymore. Sorry about that.
Let's go.
Yeah, the times and places, they may change, but one thing stays the same. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, well, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home. Yeah, they sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell.
Yeah.
Bam, bam.
What's up, Donald? Welcome to the show.
Donald
Gun
Dunn.
Room, two drunk dudes in a gun room. What is up? Thank you, sir. All right, Eric. You want to get us started?
Gun Room Radio.
Look at that.
Gun Room Radio.
I'm so
Looking
proud.
for-
Everybody needs to know I'm so proud of Eric because all the stuff that used to happen on here was pretty much me. And now it may pop up at random times.
It will.
Maybe
guarantee
sometimes
you.
it's not at the most opportune time. Sometimes it is at the most opportune time. But Eric's starting to learn how to do all the stuff. So now there's two producers here.
Oh well, I wouldn't take a full credit of it. I'm just saying. Yeah,
There
I
you
do.
go.
I do. Joel Grant, what is up?
Yeah, welcome to the show. buddy.
Welcome. Yeah. Hey, so again, going through the rabbit hole that is the Contagion Effect, along with all of its other conglomerate
Friends,
podcast
family.
and the great things that everyone is doing, just like sitrep22.org and Gun Room Radio and Hero Stock, Scotty Hastings, everything that goes on and everybody that's joined us, Shadow Mark, like, dude, love you guys. Appreciate all the support. It was through the rabbit hole that we found, the comment crew came through, right? And I came across First Sergeant Jeff Frazier, who is part of Apex Predator Outfitters. He had commented. I jumped on as soon as he commented. I bought a shirt, got my hat, hit my microphone again for the third time today. But
won't be
I started.
the last time.
Yeah, no, well, it won't. And I started going through the thing, and I'm like, dude, like, he's not only a freaking like the CEO and the founder of Apex Predator Outfitters, he's also the model. He's the model along with his beautiful family.
So sexy.
I mean,
So sexy.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
he's not just a
dude.
beard, bro. It's not just a beard.
That's what I love is the whole
Yeah.
family's involved.
Yeah.
It's not even just him. There's just love to the whole
Yeah,
family. which
yeah.
is
So I
amazing.
literally, as I bring him on, Jeff, thanks for joining us. Appreciate what
Absolutely.
you got going on. And again, like we talked before the thing, I love your family, man. I love that you guys are all in it to win it, and Mama's the ringleader, right?
Of course.
Good answer.
Yeah, good answer.
Good
Good
answer.
answer. You passed. She will let you on to another day.
Of course. And with the modeling, that was due to kind of necessity. You know what I'm saying? So
Lack of funds.
I was looking at the family pictures. Hey, you guys look all right. Let's just go ahead.
Yeah.
You guys look all
Here's some
right.
shirts. Just throw shirts.
Why not?
Well, you got to find all those what is it, stock photos, pay for stock photos.
I'm telling
now
you,
you got
this
the
family
kids.
could, bro. And
now if your kids learn to go get an agent, now you're in trouble.
we could work on that, Mike. We can get a piece of that action too.
Yeah, we'll call his kids.
We can get it. Yeah.
Hey, what's their names? No, I'm just kidding.
You had
Don't share it.
you had your son. He had a I don't want to call it. It's a man bun. We'll say man bun, right? And he was bouncing around. It was in one of your videos, right? He was singing. Oh, he was singing along to a song, and I forgot the song. We're not. Anyways, he was learning the song.
Yeah.
And you were proud of him, and he was doing it, and he noticed when the phone was right there, and he was just. Then he got into it, And it's awesome. I love the support. Like I love whenever parents can support their kids and whatever they're going to do, right? I mean,
one and vice versa. I know they're probably a little bit voluntold, but it's got to be kind of cool to mom and dad are doing it. We get to do it with them. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, they love they love the camera. Matter of fact, you should watch the. We shot a professional commercial. It's on the page somewhere. That we shot.
Eric's gonna get.
We got.
We're gonna lose Eric for the next 10 minutes now if it takes him.
Fine, but yeah, they like the camera. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what song that was. It's eluding me right now, but he's good.
I know, and it's such an easy song that we forgot. It's not Where Were You? Where Were You? It was. Anyways, I'll find it.
We'll find it. We got other stories.
We got tons of stuff.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, probably stand up.
Yeah,
and he's like next to you.
Yeah,
next to you.
So one of your sellers is one of your shirts, and it's made different, right? Like that's probably one of your staples go to, and the I am her.
That's So the made different is which we'll get into where that came from.
Yeah,
I came up with that because it was going to be Apex Predator Outfitters, top of the food chain, and then once the wife saw all the pain that I went into to find like a good blank shirt and not some just real cheap one. You know what I'm saying? I went through at least 50 t-shirts that I ordered individually. I just get samples and I went through all that. And then to find a screen printer, because not all of those businesses are created equal. I went through 6 local ones and I finally found one. And, we were just sitting here and when it comes packaged up, when you get a shirt, it's pretty done out. We didn't spare any expense on them. And she's like, man, this is really made different. And when she just said that, it just hit. I said, you know what? This was in the stage of the brand. So that's where that came from. And then, the I am her, that is going to be, the company's still in its infancy. We're less than a year old, but that's
really?
Yeah. That's going to be the staple on the women's side, the I am her, because it's like, I am that. You know what I mean? Like a little bit with a little bit of attitude and
absolutely. And it's funny seeing the pictures of I can see her saying that, right? That's what's awesome. And with her position, I could definitely see her saying.
You talk about the pic where she's bent down?
No, the one even just her promotion one when she's walking. She just got promoted. I feel like that's what she exudes is, yep, that's me.
Yes, that can be a problem at times, but we'll
look at we already had a wardrobe change right there.
No, dress because I'm gonna put my ears so I can hear you now.
There we go. All right, since Eric loves jumping ahead, way ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hey, who are you by the way?
All right.
Sorry,
thanks,
Mike.
Eric.
I know.
Thanks, Eric.
You gave it to me. You let me have the floor,
I did.
I took off with it and ran as far as I could.
You ran all the way the other way.
We got 14 minutes of this bad boy now, Mikey. Now Dad's going to reel us back in.
Now you're on the bungee coming back, right? Got to give you the hook.
I may have found the video too, by the way.
So, okay. Well, we'll have to definitely share that. So, Jeff, we always like to get to know our veterans and kind of know where you grow up because I think that's part of your story, right?
Of course.
So where did you grow up and like where'd you go to school, things like that?
So I am born and raised in Decatur, Illinois. And Decatur, Illinois is known for two things. Number one, it's the soybean capital of the world. So if anybody ever goes on Jeopardy, ask that question. Decatur, Illinois is the soybean capital of the world. And it
that is our show right now. I'm that old. It's DVR'd, bro.
What,
And
Jeopardy?
Jeopardy Masters is going on right now, and it's like
It's just not the same.
it's
without
37 minutes. It's 27 minutes of this.
pretty much.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, you never speak. 'cause
Yeah,
you don't know
yeah,
the
you don't know the
answers.
answer.
But then,
Yeah.
All right.
Decatur.
Soybean capital, Decatur,
See,
Illinois.
I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna beat Sean
which-
on it now.
which is also the original home of the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears used to be called the Staley Bears, and Staley, A.E. Staley, is a big company in
Right.
Decatur. The original field that they played on is still there. They moved to Chicago in the 1920s, so that's what Decatur, Illinois, is known for. So that's where I was
Soybean and Bears.
I was born and
Up
raised
Bears.
there. 0 to 18, grew up in the same house, and
Wow.
May 13th, 1998 is the day that I left for the Army.
Wow.
So I joined the Army as a 77 Fox at the time, which is petroleum supply specialist. It has since changed.
The trucker.
Well, yeah, we drive the fuel trucks. That is.
Yeah.
There's actually a
That's
course
a safe
called,
job.
it's called PVOC, Petroleum Vehicle Operation Course, that you go to, and it's like a CDL, the big fuel truck. So yes, that would be an accurate statement. So I did basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia, and it was pretty cool. I was one of the first non-infantry companies to go through training at Fort Benning since the Vietnam War, since the 1960s.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So that's kind of an interesting, scenario to go through basic training there with those guys. And then I did my job training at Fort Lee, Virginia. That's the Army home of the quartermaster school. So any quartermaster, transportation, all the logistics stuff goes through Fort Lee, Virginia. It's pretty cool. They actually have a thing called ALU, Army Logistics University there. It's huge. So as you get promoted, you go back through schools, and that's all at Fort Lee, Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, once I got done with my training, I was stationed at Fort Lewis, Washington. That was my first duty station, and I got there in December. And before I even put my bags down, they say, "Hey, we're going to Thailand in 3 months." So we went to, and 3 months later, we were in Thailand for Operation Cobra Gold '99.
Cobra Gold.
Cobra Gold. That's basically a joint exercise we do with the Thai Army. It alters who runs it every year. So that year, I think, was the Navy, and then the Marines run it, and then the Army will run it. It's a big, I believe they still do it, but I'm not too sure. But I was actually, the unit I was in was a combat support hospital. So it was called a CASH. Not unsimilar to the TV show MASH.
Oh, wow.
So this MASH was a mobile Army surgical hospital. All they were named to CASH, Combat Support Hospital. So went over there as a young 19-year-old in Thailand and had an amazing time.
I bet.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Thai.
Came back from Thailand, and I was on assignment already to go to Korea. So I think,
wow.
they got me, man. Like, we were in Thailand.
Dude.
They got you.
Yeah.
The minute I get home. Later.
Over to Thailand in like February or March, I want to say. And then by the time I got back, it was probably, this is a long time ago. This was probably September timeframe, maybe October. And my report in Korea was January. So I was like,
why do you think it was so back to back? Like, boom, you get out here, boom, you're gone, boom.
Is it because of your job, or?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think it's just, you're going to hear me probably say the term needs of the Army a lot. But back then, when we weren't doing any of the deployments, right? There was no Iraq and Afghanistan. None of that stuff was going on. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry, Chuck, Fort Gregg. I'm out on the base name change.
He's been out for a while.
They changed Thailand too. I believe. I believe
Thailand's not Thailand anymore. It's Thailand, according to Brian.
That would not surprise me if they did.
Us older guys, we don't remember things well, right?
I mean, with the name changes, I'm like, man, I don't know what anybody's talking about. But I would say, back before Iraq and Afghanistan, before all that stuff started happening, they were moving you pretty regularly. I mean, you wasn't staying for more than 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that they must have needed my MOS at that time. And it's cheaper to move a single private with no family. All they do is buy me a plane ticket and I'm gone, you know? So cost wise, it really wasn't expensive. So yeah, I went over to Korea for a year, and I went from a combat support hospital that had 600 people in it total, and 500 of them were officers and doctors and cool and didn't even know how to march or salute, to a field artillery unit. So the combat arms side, king of battle, you know, so that was quite a culture shock going over there. But I made it, did the year in Korea, and then I actually came back to Fort Lewis. I re-enlisted to go back. Once I got back to Fort Lewis, they said, hey, we need somebody to go to Honduras for 6 months. I was like,
damn.
I was like, put me in, coach.
That's me.
So went over there, did 6 months in Honduras, and then came back. And when I came back from Honduras, that was right around 2002. And that's when all the, Iraq was kicking off. So
Right.
in 2003, I think it was late 2002, we deployed to go over there. I was actually with a quartermaster company at the time when I went back, and we set up big fuel blivets. Like, we had big 50,000 gallon bags, in essence, that were filled with fuel. So we supplied. Yeah, that's what we did. We received fuel, and I got a lucky break though when I was over there, because it was supposed to be a year deployment, and I came down on assignment again. So back then, if you came down on an assignment to go somewhere else, they would send you home early. So I only did 6 months. So I was like, cool, so I went back, and I was on assignment to go to Fort Stewart, Georgia. Well, I lucked out and went to this little secret of the Army, this little hole in the wall called Hunter Army Airfield, which is a wonderful place in Savannah, in Savannah, Georgia. Like, the gate goes out into the city. But the flip side of that was, once I got there, they were like, hey, dude, you might as well not even unpack, because we're going back to Iraq in about 6 months. So, and then, I stayed in Savannah. I was there for almost 9 years because I got hit on that. I was fenced in, like, you deploy, come back, deploy, come back. So I did a year with them at first, and then I did a 15-month deployment, which those are absolutely terrible. And then came back, and then we did Afghanistan for a year, and that was 2010-ish. So I got back, and they were like, hey, do you want to go be a recruiter? I was like, dude, anything beats this, man.
Yeah. Like, you guys are just sending me all over the world.
I mean, talk about no rest.
Send me to one spot in the world at that time.
Yeah, right.
And then that last one was Afghanistan. And I was like, yeah, man, let's go do it. So I went to the recruiting school, passed that. And then I went to, I was a recruiter in Brandon, Florida, just outside of Tampa. So I was about 2 years into that assignment. And the way it works is, if you're doing pretty well in recruiting, they say, hey, do you want to change your job and become a recruiter permanently? I was like, man, do you mean I ain't got to go to all these deployments or none of that stuff no more? And they were like, yeah, man, you'll just be a recruiter. I was like, man, sign me up for that. I said 4 was enough. I'm good. So I changed over to become a full-time recruiter, which, it's funny, when you're a recruiter for the Army, a detailed recruiter, meaning you're an NCO assigned on recruiting duty. You're doing all the recruiting, okay, going out, finding people. But then once you convert, that's what they call it, to be a full-time recruiter, you don't really recruit anymore. You're doing all the paperwork. You become a station commander, so you're running the station. So it's kind of crazy in that. So once I became a station commander, I went down to Miami, Florida, to run a station down there. And then that's when I got promoted to the next rank to become a first sergeant. So I ran a recruiting company in Miami. And then I ran a recruiting company in San Diego, California for 3 years. And then I retired. 23 years, 5 months, and 29 days, I think. And that was, I retired just under 2 years ago.
So what made you decide to finally just say, I'm done?
Well, I have a question before that. Hold on. I know. Sorry, Mike. When did you meet Mrs.?
I met her in Miami.
Okay. I needed a timeline to figure out when you got straight.
That would have been 2013
okay.
In Miami. Yeah. What was your question, Mike?
It was what made you finally decide that, 23, I mean, you went past 20, right? You flew right past 20.
Okay. So I was only going to do 20 and retire, right?
Right.
But when I made the list for E8, for master sergeant, for first sergeant, you incur a service obligation. So you have to do 3 years if you're going to take the promotion. And I was going to decline it, but the stars aligned to where the wife got stationed in San Diego. I got an assignment in San Diego. So I was like, you know what? Okay.
This works.
This works.
Yeah.
I will do it. So, and then I was only going to do I didn't really have any aspirations of going over the 20 years. I figured that was enough, but but then I extended, like I had to extend my retirement a little bit because we were there when COVID hit and I couldn't get anything done to retire. Everything was closed. You know what I mean? So,
So then, I mean, that makes sense. Like, hey, I don't want to retire yet. I can't do anything once I retire. So
I couldn't get anything done. Like there's
your benefits, nothing.
Yeah, you got to do classes, and it's a whole process to go through retirement. So, but I didn't have any aspirations to stay. I figured, once you stay to get promoted, there's only one more rank above that, and that's Sergeant Major. But if you decide to compete for that, okay, you could incur up to a 6-year obligation. All right,
so you would have been pushing 30 at that point.
Could have been. Well, it's at least 4 because once the list always comes out at the same time of the year, right? And I think it's August is when the Sergeant Major list comes out. So you once you get selected, you sit on the list for a year because you have to attend what's called the U.S. Army Sergeants Major Academy in El Paso, Texas. So you have to go to school for a year in El Paso, right? There was no chance the wife was going to get an assignment there. You know what I'm saying? For 1 year. So I would have been a geographical bachelor. And then so once you graduate from the academy, so there's 2 years right there. Then they have what's called a CSL. That's a command select list. So we have 2 different kinds of Sergeant Majors in the Army: command Sergeant Major, staff Sergeant Major. So if you don't make this, you owe them 2 years as a command Sergeant Major. So if you make the command select list and get your 2 years, you're good and you can retire after that. But that's 4 years. But that's highly competitive. When you're talking about a Sergeant Major and E9, you're talking about the best of the best in the Army, and you're competing with those guys for a command select position. So you're going to do that 2 years as a staff Sergeant Major, and then the 2 as a command. So that's 6 years possibly, and then that would have been a move. Like if I would have been a staff Sergeant Major, like I would have had to move where they told me. You don't really get a whole lot of say in it at that point. So I'm going where they told me, and then what if that's not by the ocean for the wife to, get a job? Like this could have extended the geographical bachelor, side of the house for a long time. And then, so it just didn't fit with the family. And then the other aspect of that is, you're a whole lot more marketable at 40 than you are at 50. You know what I mean? So if you're going out looking for, if you're getting out looking for a job and stuff, I feel like you're a whole lot more marketable at 40 than 50. So
that's just, unfortunately, that's our society now, right? I mean, it is what it is. Regardless whether you're in the military or in the civilian world, that's going to be a true statement. Hey, I did want to just kind of take a step back. So, 2001.
Yes.
September 11th. Where were you? Were you deployed at that point?
No, I was not. In September, this is crazy. September 11th of 2001, I was on leave from Fort Lewis, Washington, and I was fishing near Taylorville, Illinois on the South Fork River all morning. And I got home I had no idea what was going on, and I got home around 2 in the afternoon. So I missed everything. And then my leave was ending, I believe, on the 13th, and I was flying back. Clearly, all of that stuff, that was a nightmare trying to get back. So I went into a local recruiter, and I'm like, hey, man, like I can't get anywhere. So because you have to report in somewhere, for your leave to end. But it took me about a week to get back to Fort Lewis. So yeah, I saw none of that happen in real time.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, did you like when you got back to Fort Lewis, was everything, was it just crazy different? Like how everybody was, or was it just life as normal?
There was a slight difference because not too much longer after that, I'd say maybe a month or two, one of my friends, his name was Koslow. One of my friends actually got sent to Afghanistan to, he he drove a bulldozer. He drove the big D7 and D9. That's how they cleared the minefields over there. Just ran them over with those big dozers.
Really?
You know, so he went over there for 6. Like, we thought he was like the coolest person in the world, dude, because he went over there
That would be cool.
for 6 months and came
Wow.
back. And then, and then, so, I mean, I went to Thailand after that, before we deployed. You know what I'm saying? So you just would notice an uptick in force protection measures at the base. I would say biggest, because it used to be going through the gates were open on all the bases. When I first joined, you could just drive on a military installation, no problem. You didn't have to check IDs, none of that stuff. You were just driving in and out. That's when now to this day they still require an ID card check. So So yeah,
and everybody's strapped to the gills, ready for anything.
Pretty much big barriers. Yeah, it's you're not gonna run the gate at too many military.
No, not now. No. Not now. So you met the wife in 2013. So when did you guys tie the knot?
We've been married 2015, May 7th, 2015.
Trick question. No,
not
2015.
Yeah, 2015. So okay. Yeah. 8-9 years. Yeah.
Did you guys get married in Miami, or where were you by that
We
point?
did. We got married in Miami. My wife's uncle is a preacher. And we had a church that we went to down there, and they let us shoot.
Beautiful.
Her uncle is a preacher, so he married us. So yeah.
Awesome. So what was your, you retire, what was your plan after that? I know 23 years. Man, you gave 23 at that point. That was more of your life serving than you lived before, right? Because you joined pretty young.
Thanks for reminding me of that.
Yeah.
You
look at that and you go, dude, I served longer than I lived before I joined, right?
I thought that late in my career. I said, man, I've been doing this since. Well, when it gets you is when you're recruiting and you start looking at date of births. And people in the Army, that's when like, wait a minute, dude.
You're like, damn, I'm getting old.
Math here.
I'm sitting there looking
172.
Man, this dude is So yes,
these are babies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I started formulating we kind of here's the good aspects of being dual military, right?
Right.
So I retired, off active duty. So, it's kind of a step down on pay and everything, but the wife is still in. So she's going to drop her. Matter of fact, I think she's going to drop her retirement next month in June for 2000 for the following year. But, about a year before I was kind of kicking that around, and that's where the idea of, Apex Predator Outfitters came, and doing a clothing line or something. And the reason that came is because I had a problem, I wouldn't say a problem. I think everybody has this problem, but finding t-shirts that are comfortable, that fit well, that look, if something is comfortable, fits well, and looks well, that's like a unicorn. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find.
Right.
Find stuff.
It doesn't shrink.
It doesn't shrink. You can find all of that stuff, but and some of the bigger companies, I'm not going to put any names out there, but there's some huge ones. I didn't like the way their shirts were. They were kind of busy. They were kind of cluttered. They'd have something up front, and then a little on the front, and then a big design on the back. And I'm kind of like, man, I kind of like to see my stuff, in the front. So that I started ordering stuff just to wear on my own. The blank t-shirts, I would order comfortable, so I'm gonna wear these. And then I was like, man, I could put something on this shirt. You know what I'm saying? I could just put whatever I want on it. So I had a little heat press, and I was ordering the transfers and I was doing that, and that didn't really work out. It worked, but not to business. So then it just kind of steamrolled from there. I'm like, hey, I actually have the financial opportunity, with the wife still being in, to kind of grab the bull by the horns and see if this is going to be something viable when I retire. So I was lucky to have that. So that's kind of, I kind of stumbled into it, I guess you'd say.
There we go. The Made Different. So where did the Apex Predator Outfitters name come from? What made you pick that?
Okay, so National Geographic, and I'll tell you how. I was sitting there thinking, I'm going to do a clothing brand. I need I need to call it something. I want something that kind of bites, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of tough. And I was watching a show on Apex Predators. I was like, man, that sounds cool. Apex Predator. That's pretty legit right there. So I started kind of researching Apex Predator apparel. Oh, dang, it's taken. And then I landed on Apex Predator Outfitters. And the thought of it is it's kind of twofold the way I look at it. You know, the Apex Predator, the top of the food chain, but it's also a mentality. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you play chess, you know, or you play the piano, dude. If you want to be the best, you want to be at the top. So that's kind of who it's geared towards. And the reason I wanted everything on the front is, you know, when you get up in the morning, you know, and you're having a little talk with yourself in the mirror, you can look down and it's like
I love
we all do that.
I love
my
that.
God.
That's such a but that's such a great point because
you see it, you can visualize it.
Yeah, because all the stuff that has stuff on the back, I get it. You know, you're walking, people see it. Like we have our shirts, you know, that are the few that we have. We have the Contagion Effect on, which I'm actually wearing one. We have it on the front, and we have the big thing. And I usually try to wear it when I go to events because then people will see it and go, "Oh, what's that?" But I love the fact I've never thought about, like, when you're looking in the mirror and you need that moment.
Yeah,
that's a great pump up. Like, all right, I'm top of the food chain.
Well, speaking of
type
pump
of
ups, you know, it's a professional commercial here.
Oh yeah,
it won't play the sound, but you can play it.
Oh, won't play sound.
Yeah, we'll see. It may play the sound on the outside. So remember we did. Go ahead. That is you gotta stop it. Yeah. That is sick. And for everybody that doesn't know, that is Jeff's wife and his kids. Yes. And I think that is a beautiful, just perfectly done commercial. Absolutely. That just shows your family, highlights your family and your brand. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah. No, you've got an awesome thing going, and obviously the support from the family, and they are, and I'm not saying because I'm wearing it, but it's comfortable and it's nice, and I can get used to it, even if they're only 3X shirts.
Yeah, stuff. I was like, it does look a little tight. He needs one more size up.
No, I don't need a size up. I need to go size down.
Yeah, you need to go size.
I need to go size down, and I have a hella shirts I can wear.
Me too.
Hella shirts.
I resemble that statement.
Gosh, dang. So
we ain't small guys, so
no, we're big old.
He always went, oh no, 4X, and
yeah, I'm like, no, fine, just do 3X. I'll lose some weight. So we have your link tree up there, and if anybody wants to go check it out, Apex Predator Outfitters.
Can you bring it up on the screen too, so you can show everything that's available when you get a chance, buddy?
Yeah, it's no big. Yeah, no,
it's absolutely a big deal, Jeff. We're here to highlight Apex Predator, man.
No, yeah,
supposed to do. What do you want me to do?
I want you to show the link tree, the actual page.
Oh, yeah. I got that. Yeah. Well, you guys talk amongst yourself while I get back up, because I forgot where the hell I put it at.
Go back, my thought process was, because I know you had said with the stuff on the back, the way I see it with T-shirts and things like that is if it's on the back, you know, that's kind of for everybody else to see. If it's on the front, that's for you to see.
Right.
So, but I want the message to go for you. You know what I mean? So.
And I love that. So we're going back to the link tree. The reason I love Linktree, it's a great opportunity to visit everything that a business or somebody has to offer. Obviously he's got his Facebook, Instagram, which we'll be sharing on our comment section when we finalize the podcast and everything. But you can go straight to the website, right straight to the shopping piece of the website. Go read their story, though. The story, I mean, obviously you're hearing it, but I think the story is great in the fact that, Jeff, your wife is heavily involved. Your kids are involved. It's badass, right? That, that it's a family affair. It's not just you doing it.
No. And then we have, as of right, like I said, we're still in our infancy. So we're, not even a year old yet. The goal, and as we get to 2 years, is because this was never really about making money for me to say. I figured if you have a good product that people will come, but a lot of it is kind of, we wanted an angle on to kind of give backside. So we have 2 charity shirts right now. One is the breast cancer awareness one. 100% of that goes to charity. And then I have a partnership that I'd really like to talk about for a minute.
Absolutely.
With Tackle 22 Fishing. All right.
Okay.
And what that is that's the shirt I'm wearing right now. And then it's got the Tackle 22 on the sleeve. But Tackle 22 Fishing is a veteran. Yeah, that's it. Tackle 22 Fishing is a 501(c)(3). It's a charity, and their goal is to stop veteran suicide. And they have an extremely unique way in which they tackle that I really kind of fell in love with because I like to fish. And what they do is they take veterans on all expense paid fishing trips, right? I'm a volunteer with them. So basically, if there's a veteran that wants to go on a fishing trip, all they need to do is contact Tackle 22 and they will set them up with a volunteer in their state. We're not too big in the West yet, but I mean, on the East Coast, we're at North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, all of those states for your audience. You know what I'm saying? But that's
right.
Because you never know that getting someone on the water and just talking to them, you never know what impact that can have on their life.
Well, it's a great moment. I mean, it's quiet. You have that opportunity because and otherwise you sit there just in solitude. But that is, I can see that being a great moment because sometimes we're in such busy lives, right? That's where fishing, you just stop and, kind of enjoy everything around you.
Exactly. Well, and it's not just that, it's the camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Just having somebody to talk to, all that's Tackle 20. Yeah. All of the volunteers, I'm a veteran myself. They're all of the volunteers have gone through, if they're getting one scheduled now, but just the kind of the 911 of, suicide, of intervention, not saying they're trained in all of that, but they're trained on what to do next.
Right.
Because you get somebody out there, you never know. I mean, prime example, I live in Panama City, Florida, and there's a veteran down here. He's an older guy, 80 years old, with one leg that wants to go fishing, but it's hard for him to, find people to take him because he'd do everything himself, but you got to kind of help him on the boat, and all that. That's where Tackle 22 comes in. So I'm going to take that gentleman. I've got 3 veterans. As soon as I get my boat situated, I just started volunteering with them a month ago. I met him last year at a tournament and we finally linked up. But yeah, just things like that. So, just wanted to plug Tackle 22 because
absolutely. Well, and that's what we have to figure out, how to get him out, more out west. So then he's covering the whole country.
It's a young charity. It's only a few years old. We are growing. Okay. New veterans get added every day. You know what I mean? So they're right now, they're in, I'd say, more of the catfishing line, but they're going out. There were some bass guys, because out there in Cali, it's a little different.
Yeah.
But there's some.
It's very different out here.
There's some
for everything
guys down in Florida. So it's just, like I said, it's just raising up. The organization is growing. So
well, let's hope we can help out. We're just a little piece in the puzzle, but if we can help out, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And would love to
sent.
Definitely. Yeah. I was waiting. I was waiting for Eric to say he's reached out to Eddie. So
email sent. So if you do know, if you go subscribe and go check that out. That's some cool stuff.
Yeah, I was just on we do a call with Tackle 22 Tuesdays and Thursdays. We tackle Thursdays that I told him I was coming on. He was like, "Oh, great." He was like, he would come on in a heartbeat. So
well, we'd love to have him.
Well, at the 41 mark of our show, I'll make a little clip and I'll send it to you. And
yeah, there you go. You could share. You could share with him and say, "Hey, I did it."
So go check his email.
I got your back, buddy.
Good.
So overall, for Apex Predator,
yes,
I know, the goal was I love the whole concept of the front of the shirt. Where do you see and where do you want to be for the future? Where do you want to take it?
I mean, that is a good question. I hadn't really, like I said, I started the company to kind of keep myself busy and give me something to do, and just to test the waters to see if it was viable. And about a year, we're about 10 months in. It seems like it's going to be viable to continue on. At least, especially on the affiliate side, I've got some really good affiliates. So that is a very good question onto where I see it going. I mean, I would like to, the grunt styles, the 9 lines. Why not, man? Why not?
Oh no, well, that's the thing.
This could be the next
Sky's
thing.
the limit, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
you want a warehouse?
You want to do with it? You want
you want a warehouse on the East Coast, a warehouse on the West Coast, preferably the Central Valley, and maybe one of us could run it for you. Just saying.
I know a trucker.
Just saying.
And we're on the precipice right now of a pretty big expansion into the hat side. I've only got 4 hats available right
you do.
Right.
But I'm lining out the logistics of patches. So I'm gonna have some new designs coming out on hats. I've got we're gonna move the different colors, kind of some flat bills. So that's gonna, in 60 days, the hat line is gonna go from 4 to probably 30. So that's of cool, kind of exciting.
No.
And then and we've got
30. You can't buy 30 hats, bro.
I tried it.
I can't.
Well, you ain't gonna buy this. It'll be the.
No, I will,
Jeff,
dude.
He can't help himself.
I can't.
He literally, he sees a veteran-owned business, and he's got to support you, and
100%.
he's got to support you all the way.
Yeah. You got to wait till they come out to make sure you like them. But
I've got hats and shirts. I mean, if you want me to demo one, I mean, I'm just saying.
We've got another. I'm trying to really help Tackle 22 also on the fundraising side. So what I'm going to do is kind of get a collection all of their own. Like when you clicked on it, it looked kind of bare there with just the the t-shirt and the hoodie. We've got another design coming out that's in the works now. It's going to be really awesome. We're leaning towards having all 5 branches, like on this going down off centered right here, all of the and then a big tackle on the back. So more things to come. I try to come out with a new shirt every month. That's
and that's the thing where you need to remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? And just enjoy the process too while you're going through it, because
fishing poles crossed in the middle.
Well, and that's
little cats hanging off the edge.
And that's kind of the this. I foresaw Apex Park Outfitters as a kind of a lifestyle brand to appeal to anybody. It just seems to be that most of the people I know are in the fishing community because I fish. So I don't want to for any one specific thing, but you got to kind of go where the company kind of ebbs and flows. You kind of go where it takes you.
But that's why we do what we do, is because we've had the opportunity. You're talking about what you're doing and what Eddie's doing with Tackle 22. We've had Guitars for Vets out of Nebraska, which they're nationwide. We've had Ruck It Up, who wants to grow nationwide. We've had some different motorcycle clubs like CVMA that is nationwide, right? So there's all these organizations, and our whole goal is that everybody gets a voice, because sometimes our voice is just maybe locally and we want to grow past that. And our whole point is we are, once you get on the internet, you're worldwide now. So it doesn't mean we have some amazing reach, because
we do, but we do.
Eric,
but we do. I mean, but
it's been great. I mean, and
it's been amazing.
I will say, Dad Bod Veteran definitely helped propel us a little more by putting us out there. Yep, and then
our professionalism.
There you go. Everything out of Nebraska.
Everything.
Well, I think somebody just said Rome wasn't built in a day, so I'm sure the podcasting too.
Yeah. Well, no, and
speaking of, you just launched, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you just launched a podcast.
And what's that called?
A podcast? No.
Uh-oh. Eric, did you miss something?
Yeah.
Dude, I just get on there and tell jokes, bro, on YouTube, and I put them on TikTok, Instagram. I tell I got to.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, I'll say my bad on that one. I missed.
We got to put that down. Eric's first mistake of
that ain't shit.
Yeah, I just do kind of like, social media is a fickle thing. I started out doing here's what I can tell anybody that wants to get started. If you're going to start a company, okay, start doing the social media stuff when you get the idea years before, because it is so hard to grow on social media. You know what I'm saying? It's extremely difficult. So
Where's the choir? I think the choir is right back here. Yeah.
I didn't start until I, launched the company. And then it's kind of, I started out with the motivational type. And I'm like, man, that really doesn't fit me. But, I got a bunch, like the comedy side is kind of a little bit easier to do, to do some dad jokes or, I got some
the dad jokes, dude.
Yeah.
They kill me, bro. You gotta get back.
And that's all.
bro.
That's on all the Apex Predator page, right?
Oh yeah, that's on all of them.
Okay.
I got a I'm doing now called First Sergeant Chronicles. So
First Sergeant.
Crazy stuff that you see in the.
Hey Eric, I want you to go pull up because I want to show the different. Well, I obviously the videos, but I definitely want to show pre-beard and beard, right?
Okay. Yeah, give me
yeah,
because I think it's a great story showing when he has to live the life as the first sergeant, right, and look all prim and proper, and now it's now you can look like, all right, I want to be, this is who I am.
Yeah, this is going to take me a minute because I went down the wrong.
You went down a different rabbit hole.
Yeah. I was thinking of something else that you were wanting.
So I know, we talked a little bit about your wife, and we probably can't say too much, but your wife is also active duty right now.
Yeah,
looking to hopefully retire by next year.
Yep.
Now have you guys had times when you were deployed at the same time at all, or no?
Because we had met after I'd already converted to become a recruiter, so that worked. But it was when we were in California in San Diego, she went to Singapore. She went to Singapore in the middle of January in 2020, and not 2 weeks before COVID. 2 weeks. So she got stuck
in Singapore. Wow.
Yeah, dude, they were locked down on the ship. She was stuck in the ship. And it was terrible for her. And then I'm sitting there with the kids. Like the kids are, we only had one in school at the time. The other one was pretty much. It was just, I'm trying to work upstairs. Work, and she's working. Oh yeah, there it is. And then
I was trying to do something. I was trying to go this. Oh, no, it stays up there.
Leave it there. There you go.
Yeah, I was trying to slide him off, and then we'd bring it over. And that's the beautiful woman.
So
awesome.
What's funny is Brian did ask, when's the last time you cut your beard?
So my last haircut was April 29th, 2021. That's the last day I shaved and cut my hair. That was the last day. That's when I went up and signed out of the unit. So
wow. So in the 2 years, that's all your hair has grown like that, man. My goatee, I want it as long as your beard, and it won't go, and it's been going for years.
Yeah, I took a little bit off this to even it up, actually. So
you have cut it.
Well, I've trimmed it. As my wife would say, I got the ends dusted.
This is 18 months.
No split ends.
I trimmed. I just got the beard. I wouldn't say cut, just evened up, just trimmed.
Okay, so this picture is 18 months apart.
Pretty,
Eric.
That's probably.
This is what a difference 18 months can make.
Dang.
To any of my transitioning servicemen or women.
That is crazy. And it's funny. It's kind of funny to see, the switch between uniforms and street clothes for both of you.
Yeah. I thought so. Yeah.
But it's totally different person. Totally different person.
Yeah. And the crazy thing, my whole life, I've always wanted long hair. And I'm like, man, dude, I want long hair. And I could never have it. I used to push the limit, like with my hair on top, like in uniform. I used to push the limits, and hey, you need to get your hair cut. It's too long. I was been prepping for retirement for 10 years. So, but then finally my time came.
It's funny. I worked for Schwann's, the ice cream company that delivers.
As a kid.
Yeah, so I worked for Schwann's, and you weren't allowed to have facial hair, and I would literally not shave for days, and then try to avoid my boss when I went into the shop to pick up the truck and all that. And it was I did my best because I always wanted facial hair. I don't like having a beard because I don't like the feeling of all that.
Right.
But I want I wanted the facial hair, so
No, I got you.
he's
Yeah.
looking like Jesus himself.
I was like, man, I'm doing the full. I'm going all out.
Well, that's why I love in the commercial too. Your wife even grabs your hair at one point during that commercial. So.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That just happened. Like a lot of those shots just kind of happens. Like we went into it. We had a studio for 2 hours with our guy, and we didn't really have a plan. Matter of fact, the crazy thing is the two dudes in the video with me, they're both Navy.
Yeah.
The one of those guys is actually the command master chief. So he's the command master chief of the Navy dive school. So he's a Navy dive.
Oh, wow.
At San Diego?
Yeah. No, here.
Hold on. Get another email ready.
You've seen Men of Honor with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
So
actually, I just saw a clip of that the other day.
The Navy dive school is located here. My wife works for NEDU, which is the Navy Experimental Dive Unit. So she is the supply person for that unit, and they are attached to the Navy Dive School, which all the Navy divers come through and train. And that guy is the top enlisted guy of the Navy Dive School. So
wow,
yeah, that's awesome. Cool. So,
and he was in your video.
Yeah, he's an avid fisherman. We fish tournaments together all the time. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, we just fished a tournament.
Catfish tournaments.
Yeah, I just had one.
Really?
Saturday. Yeah, Saturday night we had a tournament. 5 at night. 11
that noodling thing.
We're used to all those bass tournaments.
You do that noodle thing where you get down there and
no, we don't do. You got that in Florida. It's water moccasins.
Oh, yeah, you got them big old long things. Yeah.
How does that
put
what the?
Yeah, that's more like Oklahoma. That's like in them. You're not gonna do that down here.
Yeah, when there's not other things. A gator's
get
gonna
the
come
alligator.
Up and grab your arm.
Get the alligator. Come on, and I'll get you right the cojones.
Go ahead, stick that arm in there.
Yeah, I was watching a dude, and he was in Florida there, and he looked back, and this alligator was like, he said, "Sit down." Sit down.
Yeah,
it was a trainer thing.
They're very prevalent down here, so no, I'm not doing
okay, well, hey.
Well, you asked.
But catfishing it's a growing sport. Like I'd say catfishing now is where bass fishing was maybe 20, 25 years ago. Some of these tournaments, $100,000 first prize.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's growing. Yeah,
I won't knock it. I'm just saying.
It's growing. There's some big catfish in California, down there in El Centro, the All-American Canal down there. They got some catfishing, and then
right here we have some in Don Pedro that are bigger than some boats.
Yeah, Otay Lakes down there in San Diego. They caught a 100-pounder out of there not long ago. So
I caught a sturgeon in the Delta.
How long? How big?
54 inches.
What?
54 inches, buddy.
I caught me a 5.7 pound bass up at Clear Lake.
Hey, that's pretty big, right?
Big for me. I don't know how big fish. I can't.
I mean,
bro, you think I can sit there and fish?
No, you can't. You can't sit still.
This is a great sport. This is fun. Really
don't
cool.
Mock it, but that's literally probably what you look like.
No, I know that. Dude, why do you think Danny never asked me to go fishing no more?
Yeah,
his
brother-in-law's a huge fisherman, and
the guy can. Dude, he can catch a fish in the toilet bowl, and I not shit you not. Like he can just literally. Oh, you feel it? I'm like, no, I don't feel shit. I feel wrapped around that fucking log.
You're moving too much.
Dude, some people are natural. So I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Growing up, we had a really old guy, and he owned a pay lake, right?
Wait, a what?
Go fish. You could pay, and then you go catch fish and stuff.
But
like
a okay,
gotcha. Pay lake. Yeah. So
I thought you said peg leg.
Peg leg. I'm like, that'd be a hell of a shot.
But he surmised this was his after owning this place for 30 years, he could see two guys sitting out there fishing the same way, same bait and everything. One guy would catch 10 fish, the other guy would catch 2. And he said he thought that individuals gave off different odors, people. Some attracted the fish, and some, like pheromone wise or something.
I got pheromones.
But
I'm a pheromone guy.
That's
the bad pheromone.
Yeah. That he could pin it on was the smell. I was like, hey, timer, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I've sat in a boat. I've sat in a $2,000 boat and not caught fish. I've sat in a $70,000 boat and not caught fish. So it don't matter what kind of boat you got.
Is.
Oh no, it's totally me. I mean, 100%. Eric would tangle the line. Yeah. Actually, we got a good story about Sacramento, the salmon up there. I may or may have not almost gotten a fight because I
Tangled somebody else.
throw up that way. Oh, what, that way? Yeah.
Oh,
That's
do you
embarrassing.
that's like the combat fit?
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of, oh, that's terrible.
Dude, I am the shit in a bad way.
In the bad way.
Them just get so angry up there, man. Yeah. I've experienced that.
Yeah.
That's
Well, let me ask you a question. I mean, we said, where do you want this to go? Where do you want, like, the short time right now, like what in the next 60 to 90 days, what do you got going on?
60 to 90 days. All right. I can tell you 60 to 90 days what is going on. First, the hats are getting expanded. I'm just waiting on the patches to come in. They're done and being mailed. I already have the hats in stock. I'm going with the Richardsons. I've got some flat bills. I have all of that. Then it's just getting them attached, getting a photo shoot done, and getting them on the website. I have that new, I've got a Tackle 22 shirt that is coming out, the one I described to you. And then I have another, I'm getting into a collaboration with another gentleman whose name's Dale Dunaway. He runs he's got an online store called Dale's Tackle. It's fishing related, but we're going to do a shirt. He's got a series of hooks called the Blood Series hooks. So we're going to kind of take my logo and his stuff and put it together and come out that way. So that's kind of my next projects coming in the shoot. And then there will be something probably after that. So I got 2 more shirts coming out and a bunch of hats.
Well, do me a favor, tag me, send me some stuff. I mean, not send me some stuff. I mean, tag us in it. Let us know what you got going on.
Yeah, no problem. So,
Shauna, I mean, you put it that way.
Yeah, I mean,
coming from Nebraska,
they got lakes in Nebraska.
I know.
I know there's a river that runs by Ashland, Omaha.
I'm sure there's a lot.
What's the other damn?
See, Derek
Lincoln.
needs to be on.
Lincoln.
Derek. Well, I mean, I know Shauna's on here, but yeah, I'm sure there's some fishing going on. I'm sure the Chief's got to do some fishing, right?
I just don't know how long I'm going to be out in Nebraska. If we're driving, I think we're driving.
Okay.
I'm going to rent me a Corvette.
A Corvette. He's going out. So he's talking about, if you've heard our show, talking about Hero Stock, which is out in Nebraska, September 9th. There you go. Hero Stock. Because he's actually it's the Platte. There you go.
River.
North Platte. The Platte.
It's the Platte. But yeah, Eric's
September
going out.
9th. They're going to herostock2023.org. Basically, it's to sum it up and how I've been explaining to people, it's going to be a barbecue to serve veterans, for law enforcement, to give back. It's going to be a backyard barbecue shindig with music. And
it's all basically veteran and first responder base. So, it's, and I'm surprised Steiner's not on here tonight, but
we got graduation week. So, I mean, I'm not worried about the viewership down a little bit. I know, but we got that. Yeah. No, I mean, all these cats are going to be able to come back and
Brian, you're going to Hero Stock. Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's another great place. If you get hooked up with Jason Steiner, it's another great place for Apex Predator to get some views, because Steiner's a good dude.
I'll give you a little bit of my booth that we'll have there. Okay.
Yeah. I
won't even charge you.
There you go.
I appreciate it.
How nice of him. He's so nice. So giving. And I think he had his hand raised when you were talking about affiliates.
Hey,
you just got to add the 4X.
No, I'm not.
You're going to lose the weight.
Listen, before I get to September 9th, I will be in the 3X comfortably.
Okay.
I can get in the 3X now, but I look like a busted.
Yeah, because you got a couple more shirts coming that you need to be able to fit into, right?
I will eventually go with let me tell you guys, it's very I don't like to it's very cost preventative to get. Let me give you an example. The difference between an extra large hoodie, for example, and a hoodie.
It's like $20.
Yes, it's double. Yeah. Double. And t-shirts are over double, when you get to the 4 and 5. But if there's demand for it, like I said, I've learned a lot in the last year. Because if you think about it, if you're going to start a t-shirt company, okay, I need small through 3X. How much of each do I order? Like, I had no clue. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely no clue. Now I'm actually getting some data with some sales, and I can a little better. And now I know on the larger sizes, hey, I need to do a few of these as I go through it. But this one was just like, my shot, my dart at the dartboard to see where it lands, and then I can adjust from there.
So you are set up to where you actually print before and then ship it out.
Oh yeah, I have everything in stock. I have everything.
Okay.
I have inventory. Like I've made a pretty significant financial investment. I have everything in inventory. Well, I look, the print on demand way I didn't like, and I'll tell you why. Because you're going through a third party, okay, and then they're printing. Like every design, I'm not going to say every shirt that I do, but every run of every design, I put my hands on the shirt and look at it. You know what I'm saying? So I know what I'm getting, because with the print on demand stuff, then people don't care. It's not their company. I
got me a Jeff Frazier hand.
Jeff Frazier touched your shirt.
My shirt.
Can you not grab yourself? Now you're just making it awkward.
All I'm saying is on the printed, I wanted to have a process to where I could validate it.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Process. So
that makes sense.
I think if you got, customer service and all of that stuff, like returns, if you don't like it, send it back 30 days. I'll give you your money back. No questions asked. If I make a mistake and send you the wrong size, I'm going to refund your money and send you out the right size for free. I've done that a couple times. So I figure if you treat somebody well, good customer service, they'll come back and buy some more stuff. So
I've already got a list going on here.
Because like I said, man, it's just growing right now, man. It's not about, I don't like people that go into business and then they're just, I got to make sales and I got to make some money. Yeah. If you have a good product and you take care of people,
it'll happen.
Represent it the right way, your business will grow. I'll tell you like this, my dad, wise man, been dead for a while now, but he always told me it's easy to make a business succeed if you don't need the money for income. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have to draw a paycheck off of it, it's pretty easy to stay in business. So I kind of looked at it that way, like, hey, I've got all of the Army stuff and retirement and all that set aside. Let's focus on growing the business. Let's get a core group of people that like the product, and hopefully they'll come back, and let's grow that way. So that's kind of,
and that's what's working for you, right? So that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Now, are you, and if you don't mind me asking, did you look into your VA benefits, or you're living off retirement? And,
I went through I spent, 4 years at war, and I've got bad everything. I got bad.
Oh, I bet that's the amount of deployments. There's got to be some issues.
Yes. So I got the nice license plates, the disabled plates, and all of that stuff. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of, my back is really bad, which makes it hard to fish. I got degenerative disc disease. So it's really, it's hard. But yeah, I've broken both feet, one of them twice, 8 out of 10 fingers. I got, arthritis pretty bad in my shoulder. I'm pretty bad. I mean, I still get up every day and do a little bit of stuff, but it catches up to you.
I gotta say, you are a very positive person, right? I mean, incredibly positive. Obviously, you also got to live this brand. Did you have some dark moments going through everything that you've been through?
So, yeah, I'll tell you like this. People handle, I've noticed that, people handle things differently. And when I say that's a broad statement, let me try to articulate this a little bit better. I went, I spent 4 years in combat. I was out on the roads, the IEDs, and I just seemed to weather it pretty well. You know what I'm saying? Thank goodness that I had a good group of guys that I was with. Some of them seemed to hold up better than others. I don't know why that is. I don't know what causes that. But I have more of the anxiety and the depression, as far as, I want to go out and play with the kids and do that, but I can't, you know what I'm saying? So that's more of a, but I mean, I'm real family oriented. I got a great support.
Yeah.
Right.
great system like I have, for that. So as far as, the dark moments like that seem to elude me there. But,
Well,
on
thank goodness.
the side, it gets amped up pretty good and things like that. So,
Right.
but I can understand how and why it affects other people. I get it.
Well, it's just there's such a large percentage of our veterans, right, that are affected, and that's why I asked. I mean, that's obviously why tackle 22. There's so many things that we have sit rep 22 Mohawks, and that's what your energy is so like it's just there, and you're so positive, and I appreciate that, and that's why I'm like, man, I was sitting there, I'm like, you've been through a lot. And you didn't really share that you had any dark moments, man. So it's like, man, you're just your perspective, and we are all built different, so it makes sense. But it just seems with the amount of people affected, and I'm not saying like you should or shouldn't be this or that. I'm saying that I'm incredibly impressed with your energy, how you've gone through it, because I know you've seen some stuff, and so
I would a lot. I would say a lot of it is because, dude, a lot of those guys, man, when you start peeling the onion back, dude, it's not just that. There's other things involved with that, like maybe a divorce or maybe not a good home life. Not saying that couldn't be the only. I'm not discounting that. I'm just saying once you have that, and then you compound it with other things, like you get back from a deployment. Oh, the wife's cheating on you, getting divorced. Now you're you went from a bad spot to worse. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I would tackle 22 and volunteer. If I can do some good out there and help some people, and talk to them, that's what,
and that's what you're doing with Apex too. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
And again, like, I really want to go back to that whole looking in the mirror and having everything on the front. I think that's something. I love your thought process, and I love that you thought about that, because
that's something I did to myself. I did in the mornings, like when I would, I always have a little conversation with myself in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
We got to.
Yeah, I don't think if you're human, I don't think you're human if you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I need expert advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. So I want to ask one of our really hard questions. It's really hard. What do you going?
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. I know he had looked like a soda. He had a soda.
Glass.
He took a sip of a soda.
It was a kid glass.
That's my 40 glass.
Cheers 40. Is that soda in there?
Yeah, Pepsi.
Oh,
Pepsi.
All right. You and the wife chilling out, end of the night, relaxing. What's the go-to drink?
Oh, dude, that's a very tough question, because I don't drink alcohol. So
okay, well that's
it could be
fair. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be alcohol.
Tea with sugar.
my go-to drink is going to be a Pepsi. It's my favorite, and the wife's go-to drink is going to be a white wine, a Moscato.
A Moscato. So she likes sweet wine.
Very sweet, yes.
Yeah.
Very sweet. Yeah, I quit drinking probably, it's been about 15 years now.
Okay. Well, hey, fair enough. And that's, why we love asking the question, because with veterans, we're going to get such a mix of answers.
I'm sure now that
Well,
Two episodes ago, we had bourbon.
Yeah, we had the bourbon battle buddies.
Bourbon battle buddies.
B3. So it was all bourbon. Everything was bourbon.
I mean, some of them, there is some guys that have some extensive collections, like.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know anything about it.
I'm quite certain you know what you're talking about, and you got some collections at the house.
I have the wine collection, but apparently, according to some people, that's
if I'm going to have a drink, like I quit drinking, I don't have anything like morally against it or nothing like that. I just have you ever heard the term white boy wasted?
Yeah.
I'm the epitome of that, dude.
Hold on, let me get my dictionary. Let me see. There he is.
He was drinking Four Locos.
Oh.
I got drunk with the wife one time. She was like, dude, never again.
Oh, really?
Dude, bro, everything you know them. Yeah. You know the types.
420.
Everything.
We know, Brian.
Yeah.
when I've been drinking. So like, no, it's. But if I'm gonna drink something, Mike, I'm gonna have a glass of Moscato with her. So I'll do that every once in a while. So
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, that's fair enough. That's sweet though. That is sweet.
I like the sweets. Well, I mean, I'm a Pepsi guy, you know. So
Yeah, you are. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense then. It makes sense. So
I could, I wish I could kick the sugar, man. You know, I do the exercises and stuff, but that, man, there's so much good food out there, man. It's Krispy Kreme donuts, and
there's
pizza, and man,
Chick-fil-A.
all of it.
So many
Dude.
things.
It's hard to stop.
I get it. I trust me. I resemble that statement. I'm not a small guy.
Bro,
either,
I look at food and I get a fat belly. I just look at, I'm like, that looks good. Oh.
I joined when I joined the Army. I looked at my MEPS physical when I in recruiting. I wrestled my senior year of high school at 119. I was 120.
Oh,
What?
wow.
Yeah. And
And how tall were you?
5'7". I'm still I was 5'8" when I joined the Army. I'm 5'7" now. My back things kind of got me going the wrong way.
Oh, wow.
But when I retired, I weighed 229. So
Hey,
but solid. I mean, difference.
damn.
yeah, I was the beanpole when I joined. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. There's Steiner. Yeah,
Always
all the way at the end of the show. You missed our whole conversation
Yeah.
about you too, Steiner.
I'm not replaying it.
Right,
he can replay it. He can replay it. Hey, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We really, really appreciate it and sharing the story of not only Jeff Frazier, but sharing Apex Predator Outfitters. We would love to have the wife on if she, we've had other active duties on.
In
I
time.
know we can talk about the things we can talk about and the things we can't.
No, I got you.
We respect that. But we would love, if she wouldn't mind, we would love to have her on sometime.
I will see. And if you guys need a slot to fill, we barely scratched the surface. We can get into.
I
come back, talk about recruiting, things like if you ever need somebody to talk about that stuff.
Well, we're going to do a forum here pretty soon. We go about every 4 to 5 episodes and we do a forum. We bring 4 or 5 different guests on. Yeah. And so, we're definitely going to have you on.
Well, and I think it'd be great to also maybe get Tackle 22 on with you.
Oh, yeah.
And that way you guys can kind of share the story.
Let's see.
Email sent.
That's going to be my hashtag.
Email sent.
I want that on
hashtag
hat.
Email sent.
Eddie runs a Edward Anderson, the guy that runs Tackle 22. I mean, he's got a full-time job and he runs the charity full-time and he's pretty a dang tournament fisherman every weekend. So, but I speak. We have meetings with Tackle 22 Tuesdays and Thursdays for about an hour. So I got you. I'll make that happen.
We appreciate that. We appreciate it. But we will definitely have you on again in some form, some way.
Yeah,
so we are definitely connected now. So it sucks for you.
Yeah, for all you're gonna get like 7.
You're gonna get a bunch of requests to be on other shows.
Shadow
probably.
Mark.
I'm in. I appreciate it, Hero Stock. I'm gonna check your stuff out.
That's Steiner.
Dope.
That is, check out Hero Stock. They have their Facebook page, Hero Stock 23, Hero Stock 2023.org. It'll be in Nebraska.
1 hour and 3
9th.
when we talked about it. I made sure I looked. So
there you go. All right, Jeff, again, thank you. We will make sure we share your link tree, make sure everybody knows where to find Apex Predator, because this is another veteran doing great things. Still, as Jeff put it, in his infancy, right? Apex Predator Outfitters still in the infancy. So we want to help lift another veteran-owned company up and show some love. So everybody out there, please go out and support him. Check out his link tree. Apex Predator Outfitters.
First
Sergeant. There you go.
Go check out
First
TikTok,
Sergeant retired.
Instagram.
Check out his.
Check out. It's pretty
check
funny.
out the
Dad jokes
tree.
are funny, dude.
Yeah, go follow him on social media because he's got some segments that he likes to have some fun with. It's not always serious. You got to have some fun as well. So go check it out. And the family thing just gets me. I'm all about family, and I love the whole concept of the whole family being involved. Percy already followed an unweighted order. There you go.
You're gonna get like 4 orders from.
There you go. You're gonna. Yeah. So Contagion
5%.
Effect appreciates you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you guys having me on anytime. I had a great time. I'm ready.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. If you want to hang out, we can talk a little bit after.
Oh, see, he goes that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I come with something.
See, yeah, see.
Brian's always going to
Back
say
on that.
something. Brian's always going to say, ask him who was in longer. Anyways, Jeff, if
thanks,
you want to
Jeff.
hang out, we can talk a little bit after, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
we'll get wrapped up real quick. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your time tonight. We truly appreciate it. All right. See you later.
Later.
Bum, bum, bum.
What's that?
Bum, bum, bum.
Dude, another great job. As
Thank you, sir.
always. We
Thank you,
love.
sir.
I-
You know
I
who's
just-
coming next week, though?
Who?
Freedom Rings.
Yeah, order your contagion effect tights. So you have
Bro.
like you have one of us on your
Bro.
crotch and one of us on your ass.
Holding your butthole.
There you go. We got you taken care of.
We got James with Freedom Rings.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
dude, I sent him a couple messages.
Did you?
Or yeah,
I got on.
but I'm
I
glad
jumped-
you got it.
I jumped on one of his TikTok lives. I said, "Bro, check your email. Bro, check your email." And he finally saw it. He's
Dude,
like,
those
"Oh, I got
things
you. I
are-
got you."
Those things
Yeah.
are those rings are
Yeah, pretty
pretty
dope.
freaking
I
cool.
think that's what I want to get, but I don't want to
Well,
hold my finger.
Yeah, but you gotta, I mean, you have to get something to Tom's.
Yeah.
So I kind of want, like, I can't wait to have them on because that
Yeah.
might be something I'm into.
We got Freedom Rings on the 1st. And France on the 8th.
Oh, France finally.
Yeah,
We're
dude,
so far out.
so nuts,
It's
bro.
crazy.
I appreciate. I get a lot of messages. Hey, check this guy. Hey, check this out. Hey, we just had this guy, and I love it. I think that's the coolest part of it.
Absolutely.
And now we're like, we got one weekend in July, or we have one Thursday in July. Bro, we're gonna be in August.
I know. Time's just flying.
So awesome. All of June, all of July.
we just appreciate
yeah,
everybody.
we
so
do.
much
We
for-
appreciate you guys for following,
Yeah.
like, subscribe. Thank you.
Eric.
Deuces.
Deuces.